Since the game's initial release in 1996, there have been countless Pokemon games released throughout the years, all offering new Pokemon to catch, places to explore, and evil teams to defeat. Of course though, like most games, a lot of content was never used in the finished product, so today we're going to be taking a look at some of the unused and cut content from the original Pokemon games Red and Blue. So if you're excited for today's video, please do consider hitting that like button down below, leave a comment with your favorite piece of cut content, and subscribe if you're brand new, because I'll be taking a look at every single Pokemon game and its unused content. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video, and I really hope that you enjoy. First of all, did you know that there was going to be a lot more PCs than we actually got and Pokemon centers? In the Celadon Hotel, there's an actual invisible PC in the exact same position as there would be in a Pokemon Center, and not only that, in the Safari Zone, there's unused code which suggests that 3 of the rest houses were intended to function as Pokemon Centers. Each map has a trigger for an invisible PC in the same position as a Pokemon Center. Next up, we have the Drunken Old Man. Now, one of the earliest interactions you can have with an NPC in the original Pokemon games comes in Viridian City. Most of you who played the game will probably remember something about a tutorial that teaches you the basics of catching Pokemon, an old dude catching a Weedle. It involves this old man blocking your path until you obviously learn how to catch a Pokemon. This old man is cranky due to his lack of morning coffee, but this is a little different in the original Japanese versions. He still needs some coffee, but his reasons are a little bit different. Originally, the man was supposed to be passed out on the road drunk. However, Nintendo of America deemed this unfit for children, and so they changed it up a little. But again, that was cut for the American versions of Pokemon Red and Blue. Next up, did you know that there was actually supposed to be a female trainer option in the very original games? Now, Pokemon fans first got the choice between male and female main characters late in Generation 2, when Pokemon Crystal introduced the concept. Since then, the games have always featured the option to choose between choosing a male or female protagonist. While it was nowhere to be found in Generation 1, that wasn't necessarily supposed to be the case. Initially, the plan was to have this option there from the start, as is suggested by some artwork and the official strategy guide. The female trainer was most likely removed due to hardware restrictions at the time. The game character was instead used as Green in the Pokemon Adventures manga, and finally made her first official appearance in the Generation 3 remakes Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green as the character Leaf. Now, we all love trading Pokemon with NPCs and seeing what quirky nicknames they give to the Pokemon that is now in your possession. But did you know in the original Japanese versions of Red and Green, there is an unused in-game trade? So basically, it would have allowed the player to trade a Butterfree for a Beedrill. This Beedrill had the name Pippin. So again, don't know why they left that out, but it was a cut Pokemon trade for whatever reason. Coming up next, we have an unused HM. Now, there are of course plenty of secrets hidden away in the original Red and Blue games, glitches to explore. The games are a great way to pass the time. But you'd be surprised at just how much you can find out about a game's development by taking a look at its in-game code. Now, I of course have no idea how to do this, but luckily there's a bunch of people online that do. So, some smart fans on the internet have actually found out that there's an unused HM in the games that never saw the light of day and was buried sometime in the development process. The unused HM can be seen in between Fly and Surf, and not much is really known about it. It was most likely going to be used as something to help clear your way, such as Cut or Strength, but again, to this day, we have no idea what this unused HM was. Now, we have been introduced to many types over the years, the latest of course being the fairy introduced in Pokemon X and Y. But there's one type that we never even got the chance to try out, the bird type. Now, apparently, this was something conceived early on in the development phase as either a counterpart or alternative to flying types. Not much is really known about it, but it might have been cool to have it in the game as a different type option. Not that the game would have needed it, of course, because it probably would have been the same as the flying type with the same strengths and weaknesses, but it wouldn't have hurt to have it in the game. Now, this next piece of cut and unused content could have changed Pokemon forever, and it is all to do with the selling of Pokemon. Now, Pokemon weren't always supposed to be caught in the wild, it seems. At least not all of them anyway. The idea behind Pokemon is pretty simple. You go out, you explore the world, and you try and catch as many creatures as you can on your adventure to be the very best. Part of the fun though was actually looking for these rare specific Pokemon, but this feature was almost either completely different or somewhat watered down. According to some early concept art that you can see on your screen right now, you could actually go out and buy Pokemon in stores, if only certain specific Pokemon. The picture shows some in the back and possibly more around the store. It would have been pretty weird if you went out and paid for your Pokemon, and I don't know if the games would have done as well as they did if this was kept in the original games, but as you can see in the background, there are creatures caged up and in what looks to be some sort of water container. Now, our next piece of cut content is something that I generally never knew about until I started making this video, but apparently a lot of people do know about it, so it might be old news at this point. But the original 151 Pokemon was almost a way larger group than they ended up being. Now, of course, there's some players out there that will only ever appreciate the original 151 Pokemon, but the joke's kind of on them though, because 39 Pokemon were actually missing from Generation 1 and would be introduced in the next generation of games. Why these 39 were kept out of the original games is a mystery, but you can be sure that it had something to do with storage space, as most of these kinds of problems from that era did. It's understandable, but still disappointing that we couldn't get more Pokemon our first time around, but like I said, most of these Pokemon were reintroduced in Generation 2. Now, the next piece of cut content from Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue is probably one of the most well-known unused things. Now, throughout the entire game, Professor Oak serves as a mentor and guardian to the player, watching over you throughout your adventure, always telling you when you can't use something indoors. It's a very behind-the-scenes role, but while Oak's role was pretty much cemented as being from the shadows, the people at Game Freak might have intended for his role to be a little more hands-on. Now, in the Generation 1 games, there is unused trainer data for Professor Oak. This implies that the player was supposed to in fact battle him at some point in the game. So in the data, Oak has a level 66 Tauros, level 67 Executor, level 68 Arcanine, level 70 Gyarados, and one of the Kanto starters at level 69 being Blastoise, Charizard, or Venusaur, most likely depending on which starter you picked. This places his strength a handful of levels above the player's rival and the Pokemon League champion. In addition, 4 of his Pokemon are identical to the ones used by the actual champion himself, only at higher levels, implying he was originally meant to be the champion, or at least another high-ranking trainer, or maybe even the final boss of the original Pokemon games. This is actually supported by an email on the PC in Oak's lab, in which the Pokemon League issues a challenge to all trainers and specifically requests Oak to come visit them. Now, this battle can actually be performed by using certain glitches, and you can actually see what his team was like and what it may have intended to be in the original Pokemon games. But with that, it does wrap up today's video. Now, there are a bunch of other unused and cut pieces of content from the original games, but I thought that these were the most likely ones that you guys wanted to know about. Of course, I will be doing this for Pokemon Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, all of the other Pokemon games, so if you did enjoy today's video, please do consider hitting that like button down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes just to let me know that you guys are enjoying this video. It's a lot of fun to make, and it's really cool seeing all of the different pieces of content that could have made it into the Pokemon games in the end. Make sure to leave a comment with any other unused or cut content that wasn't mentioned in today's video, and of course make sure to subscribe if you're brand new. We do daily Pokemon content on this channel, and of course, like I say, the rest of this series will be coming to you guys very, very soon. That's everything from me though. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.